Hello everyone, welcome to Nature's Heritage Network. We are in our yam farm again to show you some things that are very important in yam farming. This yam farm is about 2 months old. As you can see, we've already done our staking. Our yams, they have started following the stakes. But there are 2 very vital things we want to bring to our notice today. So it is something that you must know if you are into yam farming to maximize your yield. So don't touch that dial. We are coming back. There are 2 ancient practices, traditional practices that have been helping to improve yield in yam farming that we are going to be talking about today. The first one is twining. And what that means is using rope to connect all your stakes. You are going to see the importance of that. Let's go. Okay. This is the twine that we have used to connect all our stakes on the same line. Remember when we were making these stakes, we put them all on the same line, connecting 4 hips to 1 stake. Now what we do is to connect all the stakes using this particular twine. Now the importance of this twine is to help us get the leaves to spread out so that it can get extra sunlight for it to manufacture more food and get stored in the tuber. This has a way of improving your yield. Now let us show us this is just an example. Let us show us how we can use this. Okay, so this is the essence of this twine that we have used. Now you can see that the twine is enabling us to spread out more of the leaves. For example, this is a branch from the main, a vine from that is branching out from the main yam plant. So I'm going to do this now. I will just take it around the rope so that it gets spread out. That way it will get more sunlight to produce more food, and of course it will make your farm very neat. This is a way to also improve yield. That's the number 1. But quickly, let us talk about the ropes that are usually better for this kind of procedure in the farm. So there are 2 kind of twines people normally use. I'll show you both of them, but I'll tell you the one I prefer. People either use this. Let me just, okay. They use this, a stick, and the quantity is not so much. And people use this. Initially, I was using this, but I found out that before the season elapses, this will just collapse. It will start breaking, so it will expire. So it doesn't last the whole season, and the quantity is not much. And unfortunately, they are even more expensive compared to this. But this one is normal nylon fishing twine. This is the one I use. So I realized that it's very durable. It can last more than 1 year, so far more than 1 season. And the quantity is quite much. Only this one I'm holding now can take an acre of yam farm comfortably, or close to an acre. But this one, you need plenty of them to be able to achieve this. So I prefer using this fish twine. They come in different colors. This is the black one now, but this is the white. For some reasons I just prefer the white, and they are graded. They are in numbers. There is number 9, but this is number 12. I'm not advertising any rope, but then this is the one that has been very useful for me. So I would advise you use this. I want you to know that the best time to tie your twine to do your twining, to tie your twine to your stake, is when your vines, they've not grown. They are just coming up. So immediately you stake, just tie your twine. And if you are tying your twine, just make sure you do it in such a way that you can still, go around your farm. It's still accessible. Everywhere is accessible. You can still maneuver in your farm so that they will not become obstacles. So what I do will just be all my stakes that are on the same line. I will just tie from beginning to the end, and I'll interrupt. Then the next, I'll just do like that, just on that one line. I would want to cross from one particular line to the other. So that is the best way, so that you can always be going around your farm without any hindrance. So that's the best thing to do. So take note, use your rope, do your twining immediately after staking, before your vines will grow, because once your vines they start growing and you are now twining, it is very, very difficult, except you have some projections that you can just anchor the twine to. But if you don't have that, or the best thing to do, just do your staking and then you do your twining. You already know the importance of the twining. So let's go to the second ancient practice that is very key. Guys, the number 2 ancient practice is vine training and vine dressing. I'll combine them together so that you understand better what I'm saying. Now, when we talk about vine training, it means your vines must be trained to follow what you want them to do. Ideally, yam vines are very good climbers, but they need to be put in the right direction for them to climb. Sometimes you don't even have to do so much. Unlike maybe potato vines where you have to be directing the vines every now and then. But for yam vines, once you train them to go to one direction, they will very likely follow. Let's take some demonstrations. I have uploaded some videos before now. Where I talked about timing. I'll put the link at the end of this video and several other links in the bio below. But I want you to understand something. The most important thing you need to do when it comes to staking is to stake on time. You stake when your yams, they are just coming out, or they have not even come out, they have not even germinated. It's better, so that when your vines come out, they will just get a stake to follow. We've talked about that before. But unfortunately, sometimes you could just have a situation like this where you did not stake on time, or probably you did not come to do this practice on time. All you will see is entanglement of vines. I need to get these vines, to train these vines to follow this stake, this very stake. But I did not come on time, and this is what has happened. But you have to carefully untangle all these vines. It's usually challenging. One of the ways to avoid this, or the major way to avoid this, is to make sure you do this on time and you visit your farm on a regular basis, because once these things they start to grow, they are usually very fast. You can see I'm being very careful. I hope I don't get to break any of them. So I'm going to untangle them. The first thing to do is to try and study how they are all tangled up or muddled up. Then you now try to untangle and train the vines to follow the direction. Like I will always say, it's like raising kids. You really need to train them. When you are not there, most times they just go their own way, and that might be disastrous for them eventually. So that's just on a lighter note. All right, so as you can see, I've done my best to untangle all of them. I've entangled all of them. So this is the vine now. Now I need to train this vine to be able to follow this stake. That's exactly what we're talking about. So what I do is to just look for a way. Okay, take them. Now that I've untangled them, wait a bit. Okay, fine, I've untangled. I'll take them around the stake. Now this is more like you're training the vine to follow the direction. Now, of course, if you are training, you need to know the direction. I've uploaded the video before. I'll put the link below. How your vines must always follow a clockwise direction. If you don't do that, it will have its own consequence. All right. So I will post the link below. I've already trained this vine now. It's going to follow and then climb up. Now, this is the first stage of course, training this vine. The next is to do a form of vine dressing, which is the second part of this vine training. Now let's demonstrate that. So guys, if you have started training your vines to follow the stake, the next thing you should try as much as possible to do is always come around to dress your vine. Now, what I mean by dressing your vine, this vine, of course, the major one will go up. There will always be some branches that will just branch around. You don't want them to be all scattered around. The reason is this: if you don't come to point to dress them, to train them to follow the twine or to follow the right path, they will end up connecting others and probably even obstructing the pathways that you have created in the farm. So from time to time, every 2-3 days, you just come around and note the one that is going out of place and put them in the right direction. You could just take, any one, this lateral one, you just, take them in a clockwise direction to follow your twine. You can even fold them inwards. That way you are dressing them such that eventually with time, the canopy will be formed. Now, this is very important for the first 3 months of your yam farming, because that's when the vegetation will really, come up, the vegetative stage. So that's very, very important. You wouldn't want any vine to be dangling. Just make sure you dress them properly, train them in the right way so that they will follow. This is very crucial in yam farming, because that way you'll be able to put all your vines together and they will be able to blossom very, very well. So we have said in this video that there are 2 major traditional practices that have been helping. One is to make sure that you put your twine, and secondly, from time to time, you go train and then dress your vine. These 2, they are very, very vital. But I want you to understand that the most important thing is to know the right timing. So that's why I would like you to watch this video, if you have not seen it, on the right timing in yam farming. Thanks for watching.